So today I'm going to talk about how to raise the body, into the body of light. In my experience, the practices having to do with feeling are much more powerful. And I won't say more powerful, but they are, if done with a certain intensity, they are more powerful than, for example, inquiring into your belief system, which sometimes that's something that you might have to do, right? We stay present with our, unfolding as a spiritual being, and we do whatever needs to be done, right? We cooperate with the process. But I'm going to talk about how to raise the body into the body of light. This is what I'm inspired to speak about, the effect that focusing and meditating on the inner light, on communing with the elements, the effect that this has on the physical body is profound. So I've explained, in other talks, right, this truth that our outer senses make us feel separate from life, right? Our outer senses, smell, hear, taste, touch, right? We perceive ourselves as separate bodies. I'm me, that's another body, there's space, right? Our separate senses don't necessarily perceive the field. Your senses can perceive the field when you raise the energy of your understanding of what you are. So essentially, what we're doing by raising the body is not only mentally knowing that we're divine, but the body feeling that it is divine. The body in a feeling, and therefore in a knowledge, right? The body is in the knowledge of its divinity. So visualization and feeling are endlessly potent and powerful in healing the mind, healing the fractured mind, which believes that it's separate from life, which believes that it's separate from infinite intelligence, separate from resources, separate from freedom, separate from all of the frequencies in the universe. So I'm going to give you a few practices on how to raise the body. The most potent practice is to meditate on the body as light, right? Particularly white light. Why white, right? White contains all the colors, right? There's this feeling of unity in white, and meditating on yourself as light, it heals the mind, because the mind, right, the separate self mind believes that it is darkness, believes that it's in darkness, believing it's separate from life force, believing it's separate from intelligence, from resources, from love, right? So the separate mind, the survival mind, the lower three chakras, and even the heart chakra, the subconscious mind, right, the fractured mind doesn't know what it is. And so the feeling really is the secret, right? Maybe it was Neville Goddard who said that about living in the end of what you want to experience. Well, I will tell you that the end that you want more than any other particular frequency is the knowledge of your divinity. So meditating on the inner light, like Jesus would talk about the inner light. The inner light is this presence, the godness of you that is guiding your unfolding, right? This unending wellspring of love and wisdom, right? To meditate upon it, and because you put your awareness of it, your awareness on it, and therefore you are consciously aware of yourself as light in a feeling sense, your experience of yourself as light is going to increase in your reality. So what does that mean? Well, if I know I'm light by resting my attention on it, by intensifying it, to the intensity that you can do this practice is the intensity that you will feel results. Results being feeling more love, being more creative, feeling unhindered by challenges, right? Being divine is not just loving awareness. Being a divine human, the word human means hue is light, manifestation of light, right? But we've forgotten this. And so, but in the human expression, divinity is not just loving awareness. It is the knowledge that nothing limits me. No challenges limit me. I have no limits. There can be a challenge that would feel like a challenge to most minds that can arise in my reality, and I will create right through it because I know what I am, and I know that I can direct my life force, and I can build a bridge over any crevice in reality. So meditating on one's inner light, right? Intensifying it. And the intensity is about, when you are completely at one with anything, with the moment, right? You experience bliss because there's no longer resistance. So when people talk about be fully present, right? If you fully were unfolded into the present moment, there would be not much of an experiencer because you're just so, there's no thought, there's no resistance, there's no physical tension to divide you from the bliss of the present moment. So when you meditate on a visual or a frequency, to the extent that you can intensely focus on it, to that speed, right? We're talking about physics. Do you become it? And again, what that looks like is not only more creativity, more love, more giving, more youth. I talk a lot about physical vitality. I believe that when awakening happens on all the levels of ourselves, right? Not only we realize there's the dimension of awareness, not only do we stop resisting what is, but we bring our conscious awareness of our divinity into our mind and body. The paradigms of space and time and age and all those things begin to shift. They really do. And I am the kind of person who I hold visions, like my visions have no limits. So the vision for myself is I want to be able to experience my divinity to the greatest extent that I possibly can in this lifetime. And so that what some people might call that like being an ascended master. I want that. I want to feel uninhibited and all loving, and no matter what I experience, like I rest in love. And I want to experience my physical body responding to that, right? It's not an egoic thing. It's like the trajectory of the personal evolution, right? And we can all do this, and I will share with you practices to do it. So the visualization on the inner light is how you remind the forgotten selves in your fragmented mind that they are divine, right? So you rest your attention on the white light, and with emphasis on feeling the heart and perhaps the high heart. It might occur to you intuitively that those things look like a sun. It might be a golden ray. Trust your intuition, but the key is that you are so intensely merged with that experience. I am light. So not only are you light, and not only is this powerful nuclear love radiating from your center, from the center of you, which is your heart, but you are connected to the web of existence, which is all light as well. So for me, for example, when I do this practice, I visualize myself as this just blinding white light. And then there's like this web of white light. It's white and gold and it shifts, but I somatically remind myself of the connection of all life to me. And that when I radiate a frequency, it shimmers the web, so to speak. That's something that Joe Dispenza loves to say, shimmer the web, right? If I am the source of my life and I am a unit on the web and I am the whole web, what I radiate, my radiation shimmers the whole universe, right? And there's no responsibility in that. It's not like we're supposed to save the universe or anything like that. But when you realize yourself as God and divine and love, what else would you want to shimmer into the web of creation other than knowledge of your divinity? Because when you shimmer that into reality, you can take others with you, right? If they're available to it, there's this synchronizing thing that happens. It's like the law of vibration. The more people who shimmer the web in the knowledge of their divinity, the more we can help others become available to it, right? Because that's what we're creating in the universe. We're creating more knowledge of divinity. And because we're connected to everything, every mind now has more knowledge of its divinity, whether the particular being is conscious of it or not. So the meditation on the inner light with the central sun, with the connection to all life, right? And intense, right? You don't need to meditate for hours, although you might be inspired to, right? Sometimes I meditate for hours and I bathe in, and this is not, by the way, about bettering myself. It's not about I'm broken and I need to be fixed. This is about me deciding that I will consciously evolve with life and I will get really involved with it. And it's not a temporary state of mind. It's your entire system as a being, right? Not just the unborn, but the vibrations and the thoughts and the feelings and the body, all in the knowledge of its divinity. Many spiritual teachings leave out the mind and the body. And so the mind and the body, the astral body, continues to create chaos, continues to chase appetites. And so people say, well, that's God. It's like, yeah, it is, but it doesn't know it's God, right? What good does it do anything if it doesn't know it? This is very practical, right? So this is about the conscious evolution of you. And again, maybe this is not your desire, and honor your desire. Like I've mentioned, some masters, they desire to have no desires. So they go back into a state of deep sleep. Upon dropping the body, they go back into deep sleep. But in my feeling, right, my intuition is that that is not the ultimate goal of the soul. That's just what they chose. So my path, at least as it's unfolding right now, is a path of mastery, right? I don't want the astral body to own me in any way. I don't want, if I shimmer the web of my existence, I don't want my thought and feeling to be shimmering the web outside of love. That's me. So I want to be consciously involved in who I am in this expression. And it doesn't feel controlling. It's just a matter of learning how to direct your focus. If you spend 3 hours or 5 hours or 10 hours of your day complaining or defending yourself in your mind, why not spend 15 minutes a couple times a day remembering that you are love, remembering that you are life, remembering that you are light, helping your body remember in a very intense, to the extent that you become one with something, it manifests, because you are the source of your life and you are radiating, you're shimmering the web. And so everything in your reality must reflect what you consciously are aware of that you are, right? So I can have an experience of awareness. I'm aware of the mind, but the mind is still complaining, justifying, arguing, hating, whatever it's doing. But when I involve the soma, the body and the mind, the body-mind, in the meditation upon the divine or myself as light, now all of me knows it, right? There's not any conflict. There's not any parts fighting with other parts, right? So this is about bringing the system into integrity. So I've mentioned in another video that, seeing from the mental level, contemplating the perfection of all life. See, that is a little bit different. This is more just a feeling, just a intense meditation on feeling and visualizing myself as light, and it feels like love and it feels like connection. So the next practice that I'm going to share with you is in every way that you can meditate upon the feeling of connection. I've talked about physical vitality and how one of the biggest drainers of physical vitality is that we don't feel connected, right? In the root chakra, we don't feel connected to our environment. Maybe we couldn't connect to our environment as children. So I'm going to share with you some practices that are very powerful. These practices help, again, your body remember its connection to all of life. So, first of all, in any way that you can meditate upon connection with feeling and visual, right? If I choose a frequency, like connection means, like that visual, I'm connected to the web of existence. I'm connected to the earth. I'm connected to the stars. My left and right hemispheres of my brain are connected. My brain and my heart are connected. My presence and my heart and my brain and my soul star chakra are connected. any way that you can literally almost feel yourself weaving yourself back together, creating coherence, communication between sides of yourself. The left and right side of the body are the left is the female, the right is the male, right? The left being the female is more of the intuitive, the receiver, the sensor. The right side is the doer, the intender, but it can be aggressive, right? And oftentimes these parts are not communicating with each other. The heart is not communicating with the head. Often we're not taking action. The throat is about expressing your highest understanding of what I am, of life. If my highest understanding of what I am is God, is life, is love, then my actions, right, will be that I speak the truth, will be that I live in integrity, will be that my expression will be authentic and from a place of wholeness and love. And by the way, that doesn't always look like being soft. And let me tell you, when I tuned into Jesus, right, the ascended masters are all completely different personality-wise. The Jesus is not just like this kind of love bomb, to me at least, to me, for whatever that's worth. You tune in and see for yourself. He feels like a leader, like he feels like a heart-centered like leader, right? Whereas Mother Mary feels like the most deepest love like that you could ever imagine, that just fills your whole being. Whereas Saint Germain feels inspirational and fun, and she wants to take you out of body and show you the whole universe. Like, they feel different to me. So you want to feel, bottom line, right? You want to feel connected in every way, connected to the earth, connected to the stars. And what I was saying about expression, connected to your throat, right? Your expression is authentic, just like the different masters, right? Just like Jesus, just like Babaji, just like Saint Germain, just like Mother Mary and the Magdalens. They're all different. You're unique. Your divine essence is unique. And that the most maximal service you could provide for the universe is to express yourself, right, in alignment with who you are, the highest truth of what you know yourself as, in the very specific way that is specific to you. So to create connection, right, you can meditate on connection. When I meditate on connection, I'll do a lot in one session. I will see myself connected with the earth and with the stars and the hemispheres of my brain, my brain and my heart. But a very powerful practice, right? The Essenes used to do this. I believe this is in the Gospel of the Essenes, book 4. The Essenes were this ancient Jewish wisdom keepers, right? Which Jesus was a part of. And they had this, they called the spirit of the elements angels. The angel of the sun, the angel of the water, the angel. And I've talked about the elements, and the thing is, if you were to consciously connect and commune with the elements every day and realize the water in the ocean is the blood in my body, the waves in the ocean are my waves of emotion, the fire from the sun is my passion and it's my metabolism, right? It's all connected. It's all connected. So to build a relationship with the elements, particularly the sun and water and color, the angel of color, because all of these elements are creating this spectacular feast of reality and an opportunity for us to gently self-correct and ascend into more divine expressions of ourselves. Because in the astral world, as soon as you think something, you're there. So time-space reality gives us time to learn and to correct, right? It's this incredible service of love that the planet Earth is providing us. But to become one, I was a little shocked, talking to Jesus, and I'm sorry if that pushes your buttons. You can tune into it and talk to whoever you want. You just have to snap out of the lie that you're not connected to all of reality. You can talk to beings. I was surprised at the emphasis that he put on the elements. A practice that he did being becoming one with the water and moving the water, becoming one with the fire, in every way that you can somatically realize your oneness with life on the earth. the body starts to open up and relax, and the root chakra starts to open up and let spirit. I asked Jesus a question. I asked him about the rainbow light body practices, because he ascended into his light body. And I said, tell me a practice. And I was shocked when he said, become one with the elements. And then somebody hands me the Essene Book of Peace at this event that I went to last week. Talks all about the elements. This is a synchronicity. My friend gets a tattoo of the elements on her arm. And so I have on my phone, like, I am in communion with all of life. Like, I am recognizing that the sun is alive, that the rays of sun are information and help for my health and my skin and my immunity, and just all of the elements are spirits and beings that are me. They are me. They are aspects of me, and they are reflected in my own body. And just the recognition of that reality creates this love, because I talked about, vitality has a lot to do with wanting to be here. The ability to create your reality has a lot to do with wanting to be here. And if you feel disconnected from your reality, or you have no desire to be here, your vitality is going to decrease, right? And oftentimes we had childhoods and experiences where we're unwilling to connect with the environment. But if you realize that you are the environment, that there's no difference between you and the environment, that what is out there is in your body, right? The waters and the oceans and the fires and the air, the mind, the heart, the thought, the ability to think, this is all me. Your body remembers the connection of life, and it starts to open up and relax and allow energy to move into the root and to express in your presence in your life. So again, right, the practice to raise the body, raise the energy of the body, to feel connected to the self, connected to your environment, in communion, in appreciation of the environment, that everything has a soul, has beingness, and it's sharing its beingness with you, and you're not separate from it, right? Just going outside and looking at the sky, holding this in mind, will increase your vitality. It will allow more of your genius, more of spirit to flow through you in the unique way that is you. So I'll talk more about the elements. I'll talk more about raising the body into light. I'm of the mindset, feeling that I'm not super inclined to explain information so much as to give you practices. Sometimes I'll give you information to help you become aware of things in you, right? This is another thing about that I'm learning by tuning into Jesus. Jesus is, like I said, he's a leader, and he's not all soft. Let me tell you, he's like a badass. Like, that's what, I don't know, I don't have a better word to explain it. He's like a badass. He has an incredible ability to love and incredible everything else, discernment, right? Will. Yeah, it's not just all being, but that's me. That's my perspective, and you must honor your own perspective. So I hope you enjoyed this, and have a beautiful day.